With the Taliban continuing its rapid advances across Afghanistan, the US is now sending troops back to the country to help evacuate American embassy staff. 3,000 Marines and soldiers will ensure the safety of the operation. Only a core diplomatic presence is to remain. Washington has been keen to stress that the US embassy will stay open, and its visa program for Afghans who have worked with the US Armed Forces is set to continue. Some analysts say Washington wants to downplay the evacuation plans, eager to avoid comparisons to the fall of Saigon during the Vietnam War, when embassy staff were helicoptered out of the city.
With control claimed in the Lashkar province, the Taliban have captured 15 provincial capitals in their violent push for power. The terrorist group says that it has captured the Afghan city of Lashkar Gah. It is a city in the southwestern part of Afghanistan and the capital of Helmand province. Lashkar Gah is the latest to fall, following a string of attacks unleashed by the Taliban. This comes after the Taliban claimed to capture Kandahar and Herat, and according to sources, military and government officials had evacuated the city after striking a deal with the terrorists. Kandahar, which is the second largest city in Afghanistan, is also in the Taliban's control as of now, which means that only the capital, Kabul, and other minor pockets of territories are left in the Afghan government's control. A Taliban spokesperson tweeted about the fall of the city and said that Kandahar is completely conquered.
Six people, including a child, were killed in a mass shooting in southwest England on Thursday evening, a rare incident which British officials called shocking. Police said 2 women and 3 men, including the suspect, died at the scene from gunshot wounds, while another woman died shortly after at the hospital. The United Kingdom has one of the lowest gun homicide rates in the world. Thursday's incident was the country's first mass shooting in over a decade. Police had earlier described the shooting as a serious firearms incident and said the situation was contained. They added that the incident was not terrorism related.
ENCA can now reveal the original source of the firearms missing from the Norwood Police Station store. 4 of them have been found in the hands of criminals at 2 separate crime scenes in Gauteng and the northwest. A police officer was killed during an incident in Brakpan in Ekurhuleni last month.
Well, what we know now is that these firearms that were being discovered at these crime scenes in the northwest and Gauteng, and one of these scenes in Gauteng was linked to the murder of a police officer, have been traced back to a 2014 cache that was found near the Norwood Police Station. Now, at the time, National Police Commissioner Ria Piecha went out there. It was seen as a massive success for the SAPS. They found R1 rifles, R4, R5, as well as AK-47s and about 300 handguns in a stash in a house that was literally a stone throw from the Norwood Police Station. Those firearms were taken into the possession of the SAPS. They were sent away for ballistics testing and returned to the Norwood Police Station. So it is those firearms that are now turning up in the hands of criminals and what we know now, potentially cop killers.
Walking free, but under a cloud of controversy. Vice CEO of Samsung, Lee Jae-yong, was released from prison on Friday, having spent several months behind bars on bribery and corruption charges linked to the scandal which brought down the previous South Korean government. One of the richest men in the world, the 53-year-old was first jailed in 2017 before being freed after an appeals ruling. He was then ordered to face retrial by the country's Supreme Court, who sent him to prison again in January this year. But after growing calls from big business to fill Samsung's leadership vacuum amidst the pandemic, the Justice Ministry on Monday announced he had been paroled, cutting short his 2.5-year sentence. Lee's release sits in line with the country's long tradition of freeing business leaders jailed for corruption or tax evasion on economic grounds, with his late father also twice convicted of such crimes and twice pardoned.
Worried it will be their last chance, these people have rushed to fill up their cars. Lebanon's central bank has announced it can no longer afford fuel subsidies, making petrol impossibly expensive for most of the population. And anger is boiling over again. Lebanon's caretaker Prime Minister Hassan Diab has said that the central bank has broken the law. President Michel Aoun has summoned Central Bank Governor Riyad Salameh, requesting that he overturn the decision and insisting it will have serious social and economic repercussions. But Salameh refused to back down, saying new legislation was needed before the bank could use its mandatory currency reserves. The refusal has attracted criticism and to questions about the bank chief's use of power.
A diplomatic face-off is brewing between Nigeria and Indonesia. At the center of this face-off is a video. A video of a Nigerian diplomat being manhandled by Indonesian officials. Why did they do this? Because the diplomat apparently refused to show his ID. What followed was a scuffle where Indonesian officials tried to restrain the Nigerian diplomat. He screamed, "I can't breathe."
What we're about to show you could be disturbing to watch. This is a video of a man gasping for breath as he is forcibly restrained inside a car. This video is now at the center of a fierce diplomatic face-off between Nigeria and Indonesia.
A leading specialist in hypersonic technology has been arrested by the Russian government. Alexander Kuranov will now be held in custody for 2 months on suspicion of state treason. Kuranov is the general director of the Hypersonic Systems Research Facility in Moscow. He oversaw work on the concept for a new hypersonic aircraft. This technology allows objects to travel much faster than the speed of sound. The detainee is suspected of passing secret information to a foreign citizen about this. This is the latest in a series of cases in Russia. A number of Russian scientists, soldiers and officials have been charged with treason in the recent past. Russia's ties with the West have deteriorated in post-Cold War lows since the year 2014.